Ready to explore love stories that break the usual rules? Today, we're diving into some of the most captivating romances between older women and younger men. Stories full of passion, complexity, and unforgettable emotions. Five to Seven is a graceful, French sophisticated story about love outside the box. A young writer, Brian, falls in love with Ariel, a married French woman older than him, and passion erupts between them, limited by a strange rule. They can only meet between 5 and 7 in the evening. The movie balances sensuality and melancholy with surprising ease, enveloping the viewer in the atmosphere of an intelligent novel. There are no trite twists and turns here, only subtle emotions, brilliant dialogues, and a sense that true feeling may be fleeting, but remain eternal in the memory. This is not just a coming-of-age novel. It is an ode to fleeting harmony and love beyond formality. Mammal is a movie that breaks the usual patterns of romantic stories. After the death of her son, Joan, a lonely middle-aged woman, becomes close to a homeless teenager for whom she has increasingly conflicted feelings. Their bond becomes a strange mixture of maternal concern, tenderness, and a subtle erotic tension. This movie is not about comfort, but about the voids inside that we try to fill with another person. Director Rebecca Daly offers the viewer not a ready-made moral, but an open wound that one wants to consider. Mammal is mesmerizing in its silence, detached camera, and the emotional volatility of its characters. It's not for everyone, but if you appreciate movies that leave an aftertaste, it's impossible to pass by.
You're not so great on your own, are you? Why don't you start by being honest with me?
The Reader is a powerful drama where passion, guilt, and historical memory are woven into a complex, emotional fabric. Teenager Michael falls in love with Hannah, an enigmatic older woman with whom he develops a tumultuous romance. But Hannah's sudden disappearance and her subsequent appearance in a courtroom as a defendant accused of Nazi crimes turns everything upside down. The movie asks uncomfortable questions. Is it possible to love someone whose past cannot be forgiven? And how does an innocent passion become a lifelong burden? Ralph Fiennes, and especially Kate Winslet, playing arguably one of the strongest roles of her career, make this story unforgettable. The Reader is not just a love story between a woman and a young man. It is a painful exploration of human frailty, shame, and compassion.
I'm not happy.
The Lifeguard is a story of escapism from adulthood, desperation, and a sudden craving for freedom. Lee, a 30-year-old journalist, quits her job and returns to her hometown, where she takes a job as a lifeguard at a swimming pool. There, she begins a dangerous relationship with a local teenager. This novel is not about passion, but rather a search for a lost sense of control and youth. The movie boldly raises the subject of age anxiety and moral boundaries, but it doesn't always speak directly. It invites the viewer to judge for themselves where the line between self-destruction and redemption is drawn. Kristen Bell surprises with her dramatic depth in the offbeat role of a woman on the edge. The Lifeguard is not a romantic fairy tale, but a disturbing, true story about how easily one can get lost trying to find oneself.
I'll pronounce you husband and wife.
How He Fell in Love is a chamber, almost theatrical story of growing up through forbidden love. Jenny, a married woman over 30, and Travis, a young musician, meet by chance and soon begin an affair in which they both find what they've been missing: intimacy, sincerity, vulnerability. The movie takes its time. It watches as their connection develops, as internal tensions grow, and as feelings begin to replace reality. There are no melodramatic outbursts here, just silence, breathing, glances. This is a movie about details where every touch has weight. It shows how love can be both healing and destructive. For those who appreciate intimate, realistic movies about complex emotions, How He Fell in Love is a true discovery.
I never said that. Marriage is for men. Divorce.
Blush is an Israeli drama that explores teenage sexuality, self-identity, and the craving for the forbidden. At first glance, this is the story of Leah, a shy high school girl who falls in love with Carmel, a daring girl, older and more experienced. Their relationship develops rapidly, almost dangerously, shattering Leah's previous life. But behind the surface of youthful passion lies something deeper. A thirst to be seen, understood, accepted. The movie captivates with its realism, minimalist aesthetics, and subtle acting. There is no falsity here, only pure emotion and a keen sense of how fragile the line between freedom and loss of self is. Blush is not just an affair between a teenager and a grown-up girl. It is a fragile moment of growing up, filmed with impeccable sincerity. We Need Your Vote is at first glance a political satire, but behind it lies an intriguing story with a touch of forbidden romance. Arthur, a young intern, finds himself in a parliamentary team where he finds himself under the wing of an experienced, charismatic female MP. Their working relationship gradually grows flirtatious and emotionally dependent. This romance is not a storm of passion, but a subtle play of power, intellectual attraction, and inner instability. The movie interestingly shows how differences in age and status can not only bring people closer together, but also expose the weaknesses of both. For all its lightness of presentation, We Need Your Vote is not afraid to talk about moral compromises and the personal cost of success. This story is seductive precisely because of its ambiguity. Out of the Blue is a neo-noir with a romantic core where passion becomes a weapon. Connor, a young teacher going through a personal crisis, meets the enigmatic and dazzlingly beautiful Marilyn, an older, captivating, and dangerous woman. Passion erupts between them, but things begin to resemble a death trap. Marilyn is not just a mistress, but a femme fatale with an agenda of her own. The movie balances erotica, thriller, and drama, and the story itself is a modern answer to classic noir, where a manipulative woman leads a man to the edge. The picture has an ambiguous pace, but the atmosphere holds. Out of the Blue is not so much about a romance between a grown woman and a young man, but about the destructive power of desire and the price we are willing to pay for it. No Future is a dark and poignant drama about the search for self and complex intergenerational relationships. The protagonist, a young boy, encounters a strong and independent older woman who becomes not only his love interest, but also a kind of mentor in a world of pain and loss. The movie doesn't give easy answers, immersing the viewer in an atmosphere of hopelessness and inner struggle. There are few bright romantic gestures here. Everything is built on tension and subtle psychological nuances. No Future is a story about how love can simultaneously save and destroy, especially when it arises between people with such different life experiences and emotional baggage. Noche Americana is an enchanting Spanish drama that slowly reveals an intimate romance between a young film director and an experienced actress older than him. The movie seems to invite the viewer behind the scenes of not only the filming, but also the soul, showing how professional and personal life intertwine in a passionate game. There is more tenderness and subtle emotions than loud confessions, and the difference in age only emphasizes the depth of mutual attraction and respect. The director skillfully balances between the bright moments of love and the complexities of growing up, leaving a feeling of light sadness and hope. Noche Americana is a quiet whisper of love that knows no boundaries of time or age. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through unconventional love, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss more deep dives into movies that challenge the heart and mind. See you in the next video.